Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jennnifer Wambugu. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so, and you will be notified anytime I have uploaded a new video. Well, the last few weeks we've been discussing about various side effects that come with treatment of chronic or terminal illness. Why am I discussing this? I'm discussing this because I'm a breast cancer survivor and I have gone through a lot of issues, and I decided I cannot keep quiet. And therefore, allow me to share with you something even more interesting, something that nobody would ever think that it happens, and that is memory loss. Memory loss. Our human brain is wired in a very interesting way. It is wired in such a way that it receives information, packages that information, and stores the information ready for use anytime that information is needed. And at times, it is for easy retrieval. And that is why people do a lot of exams and they excel in career and any other work because they are able to retrieve the information that they have acquired from their brain. But what happens, I ask you, what happens when by any chance you can no longer retrieve that information? What happens when your brain does not remember anything? You can't recall anything. What happens when you see everything that you worked so hard for going down the drain? I'm telling you, it is not easy. That is one of the biggest challenges that I experienced. Memory loss. Memory loss was something which was very crazy. One, I started experiencing memory loss immediately after radiotherapy and chemotherapy. Later, I developed a condition of the spine, the degenerative disease of the disc. And again, I had to go through a spinal surgery, and thereafter, I had to take other drugs that curated my memory, the likes of gabapentin and other drugs, which are used in the healing of spine. It was not interesting. I had not idea. I didn't have any idea that things are not working until one day I used to live in one county and work in another county. For those people who are familiar with Kenya, I used to work in Kirinyaga County, but I was living in Embu town. So one day when I was driving to work, I passed the office and drove past Kirugoya Hospital where my office was stationed, and drove all the way to Karatina. And I asked myself, where was I going? Then I remembered, I was supposed to be in the office. And that is the time it hit me very hard that my memory was not right. One day, I went to the office. I opened my computer, but I could not remember my password. And things were working from bad to worse. With my own two eyes, I watched as my career was going down the drain. I didn't have anybody I would share this information with, and it drained me. It got me almost into depression, and I was wondering, how will I survive? I mean, my brain is my work. Without it, how would I even work? And it became very, very difficult. One day, I could no longer handle the issue of memory loss. And I remember I just gave up and I decided I will commit suicide. So I planned for suicide. I wanted to plan a suicide in such a way that it will not appear like suicide. So I thought, as I'm driving from Kirugoya to Embu, I will drive and hit River Nyamindi. Those people who know River Nyamindi, it's a pretty deep river which has claimed many lives. And I thought I would just go and drive down to the river intentionally. And that is what I wanted to do. But anytime, the first I planned it for a week, but anytime I arrived in River Nyamindi, I would forget that I was committing suicide. And that happened day in, day out, until I was wondering, what will I do? And one day, I was at the verge of taking my vehicle, driving into the river, when my phone just rang, and I picked the phone. It was the matron of the school where my daughter was schooling, and she was telling me that she can't find the insurance card for my child, and my child had some tonsillitis, and I had to rush. And when I was going through all these issues, I was not sharing with anybody. And when I went to school, my child looked at me and told me, "Mom, you're the best mother in the whole world. I love you and I really miss you." And when I looked at her, I cried later on. And I told God, for her, I will live. For her, I want to live. Teach me how to address this memory issue. And the following day, I went to see a doctor, and the doctor told me, "You know what, Jennnifer, the kind of drugs that you're taking are responsible for the depression that you feel at times. Your mood is depressed. They are also responsible for the memory loss. What we are going to do, we are going to change these drugs. The other thing that we are going to do is that I am going to give you a remedy. I want you to challenge your brain, because human brain is wired in such a way. Human brain is the only organ in the body that can reshape itself. The more you challenge your brain, the more it works." And he told me, "I dare you to start something new. I dare you to provoke your brain, and it will start working." And immediately I said, "Oh, I will have to try something new." And that is the first brain activity I thought. And I said, the best thing I'll do is to start something very new. Crazy idea came into my mind. And I said, I am not a musician. I'm not an artist. Actually, if you hear me sing, you will imagine that I don't even want to describe it, because I can't sing. Yes, I'm a preacher, I'm a pastor, but I can't sing. Well, I said, I will play guitar. I can do music. And I said, I can do musical instruments. Even if I don't have a voice, let me look for somebody who can teach me how to play guitar. And I said, that is now something that is going to occupy me. And immediately I left and I looked I met with a gentleman. And this gentleman was holding guitar. And I was like, "Hi, would you teach me how to play guitar?" And he looked at me and I was like, "Jennnifer, I know you. I've been reading your post on Facebook. I know you are born again Christian. I cannot teach you, because the kind of songs I play, you cannot even want to listen to what they talk about. However, I can request you to go to any church that is offering music lessons. But for me, I don't want to handle a woman of God. I was not even a pastor by then." And he told me he could not handle me. And I left. But that is the first thing I realized, that the brain needs to be challenged. And that is when I looked for anybody who could teach me how to play guitar or piano, I didn't get anybody. And that is when I now moved to something else. I said, why wouldn't I now look for something like studying theology? And I started online courses on theology. And that is what has made me to become a pastor. Today, I'm a pastor. I was still working and doing other things. So one of the things that somebody goes through is memory loss. But when memory is lost, all is not lost. The only thing somebody needs to do is to compose herself of himself. Once you expose yourself, you compose yourself, then you can start challenging your brain with something positive. The other thing is to avoid stress. At all costs, somebody is supposed to avoid stress and make yourself as comfortable as possible. The other thing that you are supposed to do is to do physical exercises. Like me, I could not do thorough physical exercises, after spinal surgery and all this. But at least I would go to a swimming pool. I would go to a bathtub and just enjoy myself, staying on the, floating on the water, just on the bathtub, because I could not afford even swimming. Swimming is the hydrotherapy, or swimming is the best thing. The other thing, you can just observe nature. If you have an opportunity to have a river in your environment, a river, swimming pool, water, just looking at the water flows, just looking at the nature as things are going, it immediately start recreating your brain, challenge your brain, and your brain works so well. The other thing is eating the brain food that help to make more brain cells. And this can only be done if you get the right food. Next time, we shall be discussing about this food. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And I'll be able to share with you many things that I've gone through. Be blessed and enjoy your day. Bye-bye.